Gather close, my children, for I have a tale from the lands of Persia, a tale as old as the desert sands. It is a story of love, wit, and wisdom, a story of how a brave woman named Scheherazade used her tales to change the fate of her people, and even the heart of a king. This is the tale of the 1001 Nights. Once upon a time, in a grand palace surrounded by deserts and vast, open skies, there was a king named Shahryar. His heart was filled with bitterness and rage after discovering the betrayal of his queen. His sorrow turned to vengeance, and so, each night, he married a new woman, only to have her executed by dawn. Word spread quickly across the land of King Shahryar's cruelty, and many young women feared for their lives. They had no choice but to comply with his cruel demands, or face an uncertain and tragic end. The kingdom had become a land of fear, where no one was safe. Among the many who feared the king's wrath was a young woman named Scheherazade. She was known throughout the kingdom not only for her beauty but for her incredible wisdom and storytelling skills. She was the daughter of the king's chief advisor, a man who feared for his daughter's safety, for he knew that no woman was safe from the king's fury. "Father," Scheherazade said one evening, her eyes filled with determination, "I will go to the king's palace. I will tell him stories that will change his heart. Perhaps it is only through wisdom and words that I can save not only myself, but the others who live in fear." Her father protested, fearful for her life, but Scheherazade's resolve was unwavering. She knew that this was her destiny, to face the king and use her wit to weave stories that would change the course of their fate. On the night she was to marry the king, Scheherazade walked bravely into the palace, her heart steady despite the fear that gripped her. She was beautiful, yes, but it was her intelligence that would be her true weapon. As the king took his seat on his throne, he looked down upon her with cold eyes. "What story will you tell me tonight, my bride?" King Shahryar asked with a sneer. "And do not think your words will change my heart." With a calm voice, Scheherazade began. "I will tell you a story, my lord. A story that is both old and new, one that has been whispered in the winds of time." Scheherazade began the tale of a merchant who found a magical lamp and summoned a mighty genie who could grant him 3 wishes. She told him of the merchant's journey, the people he met, and the struggles he faced in a world full of magic and danger. "Tell me more," the king murmured, leaning forward, intrigued by her words. She weaved her tale skillfully, leaving the story at a crucial moment, one that would make the king eager for more. As the night drew to a close, she stopped suddenly, just as the merchant's fate hung in the balance. The king, restless with curiosity, demanded, "What happens next? Finish the story, Scheherazade." "No, my lord," she replied, her voice soft yet confident. "The story is not finished. But fear not, for tomorrow night, I will continue. You shall hear the rest then." The king lay awake in his chamber that night, tossing and turning as the story of the merchant and the genie filled his mind. The curiosity she had sparked in him was unlike anything he had ever known. What would happen to the merchant? Would he make the right choice? The king could not stop thinking about it. The next night, Scheherazade returned, and as promised, she continued her tale. But as the night drew to a close, she left another cliffhanger, and again, the king demanded the next part. And so it went, night after night. With each story, the king grew more entranced by her words, and more softened by the kindness and wisdom that echoed through them. As the nights passed, the king found himself listening intently to every word Scheherazade spoke. He no longer saw her as a mere bride, but as a wise and compassionate woman who had changed his heart with her stories. By the 1000th night, the king knew that he could not bring himself to harm her. Her courage, her beauty, and the wisdom of her tales had healed his heart. King Shahryar, once cold and vengeful, realized the error of his ways. He spared Scheherazade's life and made her his queen. The people rejoiced, for the king had found a new path, one filled with love and understanding. And so, my children, the power of stories, of words, brought peace where there had been only darkness. And so, my children, the story of the 1001 Nights teaches us the power of stories to change the world. Like Scheherazade, we must use our wisdom and our words to heal hearts and bring understanding. The greatest magic lies not in jewels or riches, but in the power of a well-told story.
Clan Mother, if I tell the king a bedtime story, do you think I'll get a pet dragon?
Ah, John, I think the king might just give you a dragon if you tell him a good enough story. But remember, it's not about the dragons, it's about the wisdom you share. Now, my dear viewers, think on this: what story could you tell to heal a heart, or to bring peace to someone who needs it most? The world is full of stories waiting to be told. And remember, as Scheherazade showed us, every story has the power to change the world. Thank you for listening to the story of the 1001 Nights. What lesson did you take from Scheherazade's wisdom? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to hear more stories of magic, wisdom, and love, be sure to subscribe, like and share this video, and hit the notification bell. Until next time, my friends, remember that your words can change the world. Stay wise and keep telling your stories.